All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Well, I got a burr in my saddle.
We talk, you listen.
Somebody that's going to take an innocent life is not mentally insane?
You know them.
Time to nut up or shut up.
You love to hate them.
It's the Denton and Sasquatch Show.
Can I bring my AR-15 next time?
Sure.
Yes.
This place is half talk show, half weird daycare. I love it.
You can't handle the truth.
Hello and welcome once again to the Denton and Sasquatch Show, coming to you from both California and Alabama. My name is Sasquatch, and my buddy on the other end of the mic, his name is Denton.
Yes, my name is Denton, his name is Sasquatch, and we are the antidote to insanity and liberalism. We bring logic, reason, and sanity.
Oh, okay.
Bam. And
that's our new mission statement.
Yeah, that's right. And if you want to read what we write, don't go to our website. I'm not even going to tell you what it is because, one, I always mess it up. And two, we're never there. You can go to prepperforms.net.
DentonandSasquatch.com.
Okay. But you're more likely to catch us at prepperforms.net, where we discuss everything from politics, religion, the end of the world, you name it, especially guns. And you can email us and tell us how much you love and adore us. And our email address is
DentonandSassShow@gmail.com.
DentonandSassShow@gmail.com. I'll get that one day. All right. Well, look here. We got a lot of stuff, so I'm going to jump right into this. First thing is from Breitbart. Go figure. A couple of transgender, or as I call them, trans testicles. Actually, it's the other way around. These are two guys who now identify as girls. Took first and second place at a track meet in Connecticut, at a Connecticut high school. I don't think that's fair.
Oh, so a couple of guys beat some girls is what you're saying.
Exactly, pretty much, yeah. This is something that Selena Soul said. She was one of the, I guess, competitors. She says, we all know the outcome of the race before it even starts. It's demoralizing. She's a biological teen, they have to say. She's a biological teen, as opposed to an artificial one. Yeah. She then goes on to say, I fully support and am happy for these athletes for being true to themselves. They have the right to express themselves in school, but athletes have always had an extra rules to keep the competition fair. Okay. Either you support them and the whole movement of perversion, or you don't. If you put the caveat, but athletes have always, whoa, okay, you are taking them as being female now, right? Not me. I'm holding her to the same standard. This is what I'm saying. Rationality and reason. She can't throw that caveat in there if she says she fully supports them. What do you think?
Well, of course. I fully support you, except when you're beating me. That's what she's saying.
Yep. Now let's move on. This is from Breitbart. I love Breitbart. It's got all the stuff I want to read. Well, I don't want to read. I mean, who wants to read this garbage? I mean, this is pathetic.
Well, it's your new thing. I know that, so go ahead.
Yeah. Girl Scouts celebrate Ocasio-Cortez, Andrew Cuomo, Michelle Obama, Jill Biden, and dead lady walking, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they celebrated transgenders. That's probably.
Well, I'm sure they do that too.
That's probably next.
Yeah.
What's a transgender cookie?
I don't even know. Don't know.
I can't imagine it tasting very good.
Well, the Girl Scout organization continues to engage in left-wing political activism, exposing young girls to liberal politicians and promoting their ideology. Since the 2016 presidential election, the Girl Scout organization has placed an increasing focus on grooming young voters and future voters by sponsoring and or promoting progressive political events like Teen Vogue Summit, Women's March, anti-Trump rallies.
Well, of course.
Let me ask you a question. Go ahead.
They think they're on the right side of history. They all seem to think that you got to oppose Trump and you got to push all these agendas because this is what the future brings. Well, I got news for you. Not if we can help it.
Speaking of mission statement, what was the Girl Scout organization's mission statement back when I was a young lad?
to be a good girl and make him a sandwich.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, but I imagine it was something like the Boy Scouts mission statement, which was, raise them up to be good, solid, moral men, and Girl Scouts case, women. They're not doing that. They're falling on their face now, and I would never send any of my kids, which I only have one, he's an adult, so he'd probably resist going to any of these organizations. But if I had kids that age, I wouldn't send them, I wouldn't allow them near these organizations. They've gone to hell in a handbasket.
Hey, I found it for you.
What?
Our mission: Girl Scouting builds girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place.
Character.
Well, I guess that's it depends on how you define character.
I reckon so. Now, Mr. President, let's get to the real fun stuff. This is why I breezed the other two. This is an opinion written by Bernie Sanders.
Good old Bernie Sanders.
I was just thinking, I should have sent this to you earlier so you could have read through it real quick, and you could do it because you can do his voice. I can't.
To do my Bernie impersonation, eh?
Yes. Now, I guess it'd be easier for people to hear what we're saying if I just talk normally. It's time to complete the revolution we started, by Bernie Sanders. 1 week ago, when we launched our campaign for president, I asked people from across the country to sign up to be a part of an unprecedented grassroots campaign. The response from the American people has been historic. In 6 days, more than 1 million people have answered the call. Americans from every single congressional district in the country have signed up to help lead a movement that is not only about defeating Trump, the most dangerous president in modern American history, wow, but about creating a government based on the principles of economic, social, racial, and environmental justice. Let's stop right there for a moment, shall we?
All right.
Do you have any input?
Just so much going through my mind, I don't know where to start. So basically, his platform is beat Trump and be a social justice warrior.
Right, and create a government based on these principles. Just ditch the government we got now. Forget about those old pieces of paper that nobody reads anymore anyway. We're going to create something totally different, and we're going to do it without a constitutional convention. We're just going to erase history, erase the government, and do it all in our image.
It's one of those. Don't worry about those other socialist countries that didn't work. This time, we're going to do it better.
Right. To continue, this task will not be easy, you damn Skippy. Today, we have more income and wealth inequality than any time since the 1920s, and the 3 wealthiest Americans own more wealth than the bottom half of our country.
Oh,
okay.
Can we stop right there just for a second?
Sure.
Bernie likes to rail on the 1%ers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he is a 1%er.
He has 3 houses and drives a Maserati.
Yeah, I just want everybody to know that's listening. He is a 1%er. He makes enough money to now be in the bracket of the 1%ers.
Now, when you say he makes enough money, he has never held a real job. Makes you wonder, how did he get all that money?
Yeah, that is interesting.
And Nancy Pelosi, show us your tax returns. Thank you very much. Just threw that in there.
Oh, I read a big thing. Just a little side caveat here. I read a big thing about her father and how he was tied to the mob.
No way.
So yeah, I think she needs to maybe cough up some tax forms.
Puritan Pelosi connected to the mob.
Yep.
We need to do an expose on that.
All right.
Despite relatively low unemployment, millions of people work multiple jobs because they earn starvation wages. 34 million Americans have no health insurance, and we pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. Well, Bern, that's because in this country where those corporations exist, we have to pay for that money so they can do, development research for more drugs that people are going to need.
Research
yeah, I know there's
development?
some issues about the EpiPens being $600 when they used to be, just a few dollars?
Well, yeah, I mean, but it all depends on your health coverage also.
It does.
Because my prescriptions cost me like $6.
Yeah.
But that's because I got a good job with good health benefits.
Right, that's right. And that's what we should strive for. Either become our own businessmen or get good jobs.
Yeah, I didn't go and work at McDonald's and say, okay, I'm going to raise 5 kids here at McDonald's and expect to get good health care.
Yeah, or good pay, or demand good pay. But we're going to get to that in just a second here. Shamefully, we treat our most vulnerable people with disdain. We have the highest rate of childhood poverty. Well, if the Democrats get their way, we don't have to worry about that because they'll slaughter them.
Yeah,
okay, right there in the womb.
I was going to say they're trying to get rid of them as fast as they can, so I guess that's how they're going to take care of that.
Yeah. Of almost any major nation and a dysfunctional and unaffordable child care system. What makes it dysfunctional? That doesn't even make sense. I mean, he's got me flabbergasted. Child care system. It's called babysitters. We got daycare centers. What does he want? While many Republicans want to cut Social Security, about half of older Americans have no retirement savings.
Well, you know what Bernie also doesn't, well, of course he's not going to admit to this, but he doesn't bring up in this that a lot of this stuff is because of the way people have run their lives. It's the choices they made.
Yes, we have made some pretty crappy choices.
Well, if you drop out of high school and decide to knock up some chick with 8 kids and of course you're not going to have these things and you're not going to have a lot of money. Those are the choices you made. Back in the day, a lot of the times mothers would stay home. Most of the time mothers would stay home. And, okay, we wouldn't have 2 incomes. That means you don't get the extra trip to Hawaii or you don't get the extra this or that, but your kids had somebody to come home to. So, I mean, these are choices people have made.
And something else I'd like to say. He's worried about our Social Security. Is he on Social Security? No. They've got their own retirement systems.
Well, yeah, that and also let's not forget their health care. They have some of the best health care in the world. I mean, he's more than welcome to jump onto our health care if he wants.
Well, that should be a law. Anything they shove down our throats, they have to be on it too.
I agree.
And in the midst of all that, we have a president who is a pathological liar, a fraud, a racist, a sexist, I hope you're writing this stuff down, a xenophobe, a religious bigot, and someone who is moving this country in an authoritarian direction.
So he's a phobeist and an ism.
Exactly.
That's what,
I think Burns just covered all the bases, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what. Well, any of us that don't believe like Bernie or Warren or any of those people, we are a phobe, an ist, or an ism.
Now, keep in mind, he is a socialist. He's a communist, actually, absolute communist.
Yep.
But he's saying that Trump is taking this country in an authoritarian direction. Ooh, really, again, flabbergasted.
Well, when you're trying to cover your tracks of something you're doing, your best option is to project that onto the person you're against. So
the Democrats are great at that.
Yes, so Bernie is a communist and authoritarian, and so look at Trump. Trump is all this stuff. Well, Bernie, I think it's time to take a look in the mirror.
Absolutely, and I bet it scares him. I mean, not just his character, but just the hair. Golly. Anyhow, to be successful in creating a government and economy that works for the many, we will have to take on powerful special interests that dominate our economic and political life. Wall Street, the health insurance companies, the drug companies, the fossil fuel industry, the military-industrial complex, the private the private prison industry, and multinational corporations. These special interests have extraordinary power, and they will spend enormous sums of money to maintain the status quo and their wealth. Wow, sounds like he's talking about the establishment.
A little bit, but I sort of agree with him there. I think we do need to take special interest out of everything.
No, I agree.
And lobbyists. Yeah. But the problem is he's taking money from special interests. At the same time, he's saying we need to get rid of them.
Which explains why he's got those 3 mansions and a Maserati.
Yep.
So he is talking about what he's going to do to us, what he's going to deprive us of, and what he's going to force on us, and it's not going to affect him at all.
Well,
Now.
of course not. Tyrants never get affected by the things they put forward.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what happens to Maduro in the next few days. But the only way we will defeat Donald Trump and the special interests that support him is with grassroots movement, the likes of which has never been seen in American history. We must stand together, women and men, black, white, Latino, Native American, Asian American, gay and straight, young and old. Good gosh, can you make more compartmentalizations here? Native born and immigrant. I guess he couldn't think of anything else because he stops there and says, to address the challenges we face as a nation. Why didn't he just say Americans?
So well, because he doesn't like American. He doesn't like that word.
Oh.
But, yeah, just a bunch of platitudes about nothing, really, is what he's throwing out there.
And he did a good job at it. At a time when our infrastructure is crumbling and we have an affordable housing crisis, we can create millions of good-paying jobs, rebuilding our country. Together, we can raise the minimum wage to a living wage of $15 an hour, provide pay equity for women, and guarantee all workers paid family and medical leave. Wow. Okay, problem there, Byrne, is you can't say we're going to give you a living wage of $15 an hour without upsetting the economic apple cart. Provide pay equity for women? Wow. I thought that was a settled case a long time ago. And guarantee all workers paid family and medical leave? You can't guarantee anything. You can't create millions of good-paying jobs, Byrne, because you work in the government. The government does not create. All you can do is provide an environment where corporations will prosper. You don't like what Trump did.
No. See, you don't understand. What he's saying is he's not going to create it. He's going to steal it. Because there are people that have built industries and companies and things like that do make a lot of money in this country, and it's disproportionate, but they're the ones that work to get that. So he's going to reach up there and take their money and bring it down, so that brings the other people up. That's how you level the playing field.
Oh, stealing is good.
Yes, stealing. Well,
Okay.
to a communist, yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, now here's another thing. This kind of explains the jobs. We cannot afford to wait any longer to address the existential threat of climate change.
Okay, here we go.
It's now existential threat. We must transform our energy system away from fossil fuels toward energy efficiency and sustainable energy, creating millions of jobs in the process while we kill bazillions of birds. Never mind that part. He didn't say that. But he did say creating millions of jobs in the process. Millions of what? Government jobs?
Well, of course.
Well, we spend almost twice as much per capita on health care as any nation. Our health outcomes are worse, and life expectancy is in decline. It is time to join every other major country and guarantee health care for all people as a right, not a privilege, through a Medicare for All program. Medicare for all. Okay, Bernie, you join it. You join on with us.
Hey, to go back on in the climate change thing that he was just talking about and our existential threat that is looming, because what was it? AOC said we have, 10, 12 years before we all die?
Yep.
Let's see. Bernie Sanders spent almost $300,000 on private jets during his 2018 election campaign.
Wow. I would have thought he'd have been back there and coach with all the other commoners, because he's...
Oh, yes, he's a man of the people.
Right.
No.
And he wouldn't take his own plane.
$300,000 on private jets that are spewing carbon into the atmosphere, plus that $300,000 he could have given to the poor people. Here, I want to raise you up. But he didn't. So F you, Bernie.
Or at least throw the keys to his Maserati to some poor minority member in the middle of the city. Let him take it for a spin.
Yeah.
Give him something to dream for. Unbelievably, Americans are saddled with $1.5 trillion in student loan debt, and many young people can't afford the cost of college. We must lower the egregious level of student debt and make public colleges and universities tuition-free. Okay.
Well, you know what? You know part of the reason why colleges are so expensive?
Because they charge it and we pay it.
Well, yeah, but not private colleges, but like the Cal State universities and all that kind of stuff. It's because the pensions for those professors are astronomical. They take so much money to pay those pensions, and those people sit there and do nothing but indoctrinate kids, and then retire, and then get a salary of $200,000-$300,000 a year for the rest of their lives. So that's why it's so expensive. Yeah.
I mean, they only have 4 years, these kids, to really hammer home insanity.
Well, yeah, and
they got to go home tired at night.
They're perpetuating the agenda, so they're being rewarded.
Right. Now, people, first off, you took out the loans. I don't want to pay it for you. Okay, there's $1.5 trillion in student loan debt roaming around out there. Well, I guess those kids better go to get a job. Oh, they can't get a good job because they took Transtestical Studies 101 through 506, and they've got a degree in transtesticalism. Well, I'm not exactly sure where she's or he's or it, whatever I'm supposed to call it nowadays, is going to get a job in that. So they made poor decisions, and I have to pay for it? No. I got an idea. Why don't they just go a little bit deeper in debt, go to a 2-year college, trade school, and make good money?
Oh, well, all right. You know what they did here? In California, they decided, because like Bernie Sanders, it's too expensive, we got to get kids in college. So they opened up the junior college system, and they passed a law that anybody can go to junior college first year for free.
That's half of the time to junior college.
Yeah, and now they're saying, we need to expand this and make it the first 2 years of junior college is free. But the thing they don't tell you is the dropout rate for the first year of junior college is 75%.
That sounds about right.
So all of that money for free just got dumped into the toilet. And now they want to expand it.
If you're not having to pay for it.
Exactly. And now they want to expand it. It's a failure, and they want to expand it.
But it's going to be for free.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
The United States has the highest incarceration rate in the world, and African Americans are incarcerated at more than 5 times the rate of white people. Our job is to end the destructive war on drugs, eliminate private prisons and cash bail, and bring about major police department reform. Okay, so he's again doing the race baiting crap.
Yes.
African Americans incarcerated at more than 5 times the rate of white people.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to do a whole nother show about that. And then major police department reform. What is this doddering old idiot going to reform? How would he know how to reform it? He's never a cop. He doesn't know what it looks like in the police department. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't even know why or how cops arrest people. I guess putting all that together, in his mind, cops go out, they look in the black neighborhoods, and they just grab blacks off the street and put them in private prisons, which I'm kind of against private prisons as well. It's just turning into a complex in itself. However,
well, look at the Jussie Smollett deal in Chicago. Now, this guy clearly made all this crap up, and the cops called him on it and arrested him on it. Well, the head cop there is black, and now parts of the black community are saying this is a conspiracy by the police. It's like, well, wait a second. So you're saying the black police are making a conspiracy against a black person? So somebody here has got to start taking responsibility for themselves.
Not as long as they don't have to. They won't. Now, I'm going to skip one paragraph. Try to shorten this up a little bit. These are like 4 more paragraphs. They're kind of short. At a time when women's rights are under attack at the local, state, and federal level, we must defend a woman's right to control her own body. And I agree. I'm 100% against rape. I didn't know that we're attacking rape laws. Did you?
I didn't either.
Surely he's not talking about abortion as being a health right or anything like that, is he? Is he that stupid?
Well, okay. A woman does have a right to choose whatever she wants with her body, until she gets pregnant. Because now you got a hitchhiker that's going to be with you for 9 months. and they have rights too. So you can't nullify the hitchhiker's rights for your own rights.
Isn't this crazy world? People, I'm sure if I get in the right crowd, they'll yell at me for calling a confused gender person an it, but they'll call an unborn human being an it. You know, we're living in a topsy-turvy world right here.
That's sure.
To confront the epidemic of gun violence, we need to take on the NRA, expand background checks, end the gun show loophole, and ban the sale and distribution of assault weapons.
I wish I was standing there, because I would like Bernie to explain that gun show loophole to me.
Or what is an assault weapon? Just because it scares you, it looks scary, it's an assault weapon?
Well, that too. There's a lot of those questions. See, these guys come out and they say this stuff, and nobody in the media calls them on it. Nobody says, oh, really? Would you expand on that and tell us what you mean by that? They just write down what they say. That's not journalism. That is plagiarism, really. I mean, you're just writing down what they say.
Yeah. And the epidemic of gun violence. You know the assault weapon I'm most scared of? A claw hammer.
Well, yeah, you're more likely to be killed by one of those than anything else.
Yeah. So if everybody started using claw hammers instead of guns, would that be okay to Bernie?
Well, as long as you use them on conservatives.
Yes, well, that's true. They've pretty much proved that.
And I got news for Bernie, too. I believe gun violence is down from the 90s. So this whole epidemic of gun violence they keep spewing about is just a lie.
You are allowing facts and reason to get in the way.
I know. I'll go slam my head against
But that's
the wall.
what we do on the show.
That's true.
Well, and finally, we must end Trump's support for authoritarian leaders. We need a foreign policy which focuses on democracy, human rights, world peace, global wealth inequality, climate change, and mass corporate tax evasion. Wow. He's just kind of ad hocing it there, isn't he?
Yeah, just a little.
But I'd like to drive back to the beginning. And finally, we must end Trump's support for authoritarian leaders. This is coming from a jackass that honeymooned in Soviet Union, praises Castro, did, back when Castro was alive. You don't hear him speaking out against authoritarian communist leaders.
Oh, you know he's got a Che Rivera shirt in his closet.
Oh, there's no doubt. That and underwear. I guarantee he's got Che Rivera, Guevara underwear. But on top of that, you know, all he has to say about Maduro down there is, well, they need free and honest elections. Well, you don't get that with authoritarian presidents, if you want to call them presidents. Tin-horn dictators are burn. Feel the burn. Hope it burns when he pees. Anyway, this is the last one.
We can't even have fair and honest elections here.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
of all the voter fraud. And he's saying, oh, you just need to do that in Venezuela.
They like to do that. They can't clean up their own backyard, but they got everything to say about everybody else. In 2016, our campaign began the political revolution. The ideas we fought for, which then were considered radical or extreme, are now supported by a majority of Americans.
No, they're not, Bernie.
Yeah. Now it is time to defeat Donald Trump, complete that revolution, and implement the vision we fought for. And so to show his intelligence, he ends with a preposition. Moron. Okay, so there you go. This is, and that one that I skipped over was, the wall, DACA, all that kind of crap. I'm so sick and tired of that crap. I don't want to talk about it. So there you go. This is what the burn wants to bring to us.
Well, and this revolution he's talking about starting or finishing was started before me, before you. So, I mean, he's talking about the hippie movement. And so all those people now are really, really old. So if he's hoping to get the youth vote, they're standing around going, "What the hell are you talking about, old man?"
And that's okay because he doesn't know anymore.
That's true. Plus, I don't think Bernie realizes that he burned his constituents during the last one. I mean, Hillary literally railroaded him out of that race, And then he turns around and endorses her. And a lot of them just threw their hands up and said, you know what, screw this guy. So I don't think they're going to be back for round 2. Sorry, Bernie.
I mean, the one thing you can pretty much say is that Bernie, he makes a living off the establishment, but he did talk a bunch of anti-establishment stuff. Mm-hmm. And that has him somewhat akin to Trump. So really, why wouldn't he have thrown in with Trump?
No, that's a good question.
And only Bernie knows.
Well, because liberals / communists need a bad guy. So Trump's his bad guy. Orange man bad.
Well, I guess so. I guess we can't actually have a decent political conversation and keep it in the confines of the Constitution, that kind of stuff. No, they have to call each other's names. Everybody's a liar. Okay, I believe them all. You convinced me. He's a liar. You're right. Well, he says you're also a liar, and so I think he's right too. This time he didn't lie. So, out of heck with it. We're doomed.
So drink up.
Anyway, that's right. That's all I've got. What do you got?
Well, I guess I could do this really quick.
Well, if you want to save it, we can save it.
We'll do it really quick because it's sort of timely here. But anyway, a prominent black gentleman was doing a speaking engagement, and he talked about things like not needing to disrespect women, not needing to have a bunch of quote-unquote hoes around, not needing to wear jewelry all over the place because you don't need to show off your wealth because you have a bank account and you know that that's all good. And, of course, he was prominently scolded by the black writers of the world. So he's trying to do something good, and he's scolded. Let me read this here. On Tuesday, former President Barack Obama spoke in Oakland, California at a town hall for My Brother's Keeper, an initiative to mentor young black men that he started after George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin in 2012. He and the basketball player Stephen Curry discussed mentorships, masculinity, and mass incarceration. But his scolding of black boys drew most of the attention. Quote, if you are really confident about your financial situation, Mr. Obama told the crowd, you're probably not going to be wearing an 8-pound chain around your neck because you know, he continued, oh, I got a bank account. I don't have to show how much I got. I feel good. His comments disappointed me because they're part of problematic practices like calling out black children for having ghetto names like mine. Okay, this writer's name is Derica. Is that a ghetto name?
I don't know.
But what I'm getting at here is really Obama sort of spoke some truth, saying, look, if you want to sort of be part of this society and get the gains everybody else has, quit living in the hood. You know, better yourselves, is basically what he's saying. And then he's attacked by other black people. Did we see this? Do we see the cycle here? Yeah.
It's a crab cycle.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone crabbing?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, you're probably not the only one. I used to go crabbing a lot. I loved to crab. I just go on the dock, and I had crab nets and had a cooler and some ice in there. Well, you catch a crab and you throw it in the cooler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's always going to be that one crab that says, I don't think I like it here. I bet it doesn't end well for us. Come on, guys, let's get out of here. And he goes to crawling out of the cooler. Invariably, one of the other crabs will grab up and pull him back down. That's the dangerous thing you'll ever see. It's like, hey, Bob's escaping. We ain't having none of that. Get back down here.
If I'm going down, Bob, you're going down with me.
That's right. Get ready for some crab bowl. But, you know, I like the fact she admitted ghetto names. Did you catch that? I'm sure you caught that.
Well, yeah, and I thought it was going to be like Shaniqua or something like that. But
yeah.
Derica, it's just Derek with an A thrown on the end of it.
So this is the first time I've ever heard anybody admit that they are ghetto names.
I guess. Well, I guess when you're black, it's like blacks being allowed to saying they're allowed. The only ones allowed to use the N-word. So I guess if you're black, you can call other black people, say, ghetto names. I don't know. But right along with that, Aaron Aubrey Kaplan, a writing professor at Antioch University, attacked Michelle Obama in New York. Aaron Aubrey Kaplan is a black professor. New York Times Sunday op-ed for caring more for white opinion than for the plight of black Americans. Mrs. Obama still feels the rule of assimilation. It's more important to retain white empathy than to be truly empathetic to ourselves, wrote Kaplan, an African-American professor and writer of the book I Heart Obama.
I Heart Obama.
Well,
but not Michelle.
Well, she wrote that book before Michelle said these things. Now she's sort of backpedaling, getting mad at Michelle Obama. But it just blows my mind that somebody's kind of trying to steer you in the right direction, and then they take it as, oh, you're trying to make me white. It's like, no, we're trying to make you successful. It doesn't matter what color you are. We just stop using words like axe, and you might get that job that'll give you a couple extra bucks. You know.
One of my favorite things I hear out here is fuel. It's fuel. It's harder to say it that way. I don't know. I mean, anyway. Yeah, and Trump is doing everything that the Obamas said they're going to do, but didn't even come close to doing. Didn't even try to do.
Yeah, didn't even try. But I the way I look at this is like when I was a kid. I was a punk ass kid. I was a white kid, but I was a punk ass kid. I had the long hair and I had earrings and I listened to rock music, man, and blah blah blah. And I love all that stuff that I did back in the day. But I was a kid. You're allowed to do that when you're a kid. If I was like an adult now and trying to rock the long hair and the earrings and going in for a job interview and saying, hey, dude, I'm not going to get ahead. So
no, you probably get money thrown at your feet.
Well, of course, I'm white, so they'd probably make me CEO. But no,
I was thinking a bum.
Oh, a bum. Well, yeah, probably change. But
yeah, speaking of which, you have so many bums out there. How do you give money to the bums now?
Oh, they take ATM cards.
Oh, okay.
They have these little scanners. You just and it goes. No, I don't give money to bums. So, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It blows my mind when I read things like this. It's like they're not trying to make you anything except better. Not a new color, not a new anything, just better.
Well, the victimhood peddlers, they need victims.
Yeah, that's very true.
Democrats need votes. And it blows my mind you said that was Barack Obama that was saying this. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and I mean, the same thing happened a few years ago before Cosby was found out that he was raping all those women. But he made a speech like that where he was saying, hey, pull your pants up, start acting respectful, and you'll get respect. And they just attacked him. They all attacked him.
Well, of course they did. Well, I guess we've pretty much covered everything that's ailing the country right now.
Yep.
If you want to hear us Wednesday, email us.
DentonandSassShow@gmail.com.
If we don't get an email, we're not going to do it.
There you go. Hold it over their head.
Just for fun. All right, look here. Y'all take care. You know what to do because we are doomed. And to remind them, what should they do?
Drink up.
Good night, everybody.